everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to do something a little bit different with you today. Instead of jumping onto the charts, I'm going to take you through very quickly each trade that I took this week so you can have a full review of my trading week, as well as an update on my funded account with the 5%ers, so stick around. Okay guys, so here are the trades that I've taken this week, my second week with my funded trading account from the 5%ers, and it has been quite a challenge this week. I've had quite a lot of lessons that I've learned this week. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about those in a moment, but a few of you guys have been commenting on my videos saying that you always like to see broker data as well. I mean, I've said before that I prefer using Excel because I can manipulate the data and I can work out things like my accuracy and profit and loss, but just to show you that this is based on real data, on the left hand side here we've got the 15th of Feb to the 17th of Feb. This is the total of the trades taken. As you can see here, it comes to minus £34.02, and I'm just going to load up my broker here, and I've just pulled up my account history on my funded account with the 5%ers. I've got to hide some bits of information on here because I am working for a firm, but it matches up here, minus £34.02. It's the best I can do at the minute. You're just gonna have to take my word for it that this is my real funded account. But as you can see, on Monday I took, it says minus £2, it's basically a break-even trade. I just had a little tiny bit of slippage and then my commissions on the trade, so Monday was break-even. Tuesday I took a couple of trades, one of which was break-even and one was a loss, so I've been risking 0.25% on my trades, and that was my loss on Tuesday. And Wednesday I took two trades, but I've took these on two rows here because I actually sold half of my position in profit. So one was a loser and one was a winner, which meant that it was basically a break-even day, and after commissions I was up 54p, so basically break-even day. And as I'm recording this, I'm actually in a trade now, and I am deliberately not looking at that trade. I'm not going to show it to you right now because I don't want to get involved in the price action. I'm trying to practice setting it and forgetting it, so I'll put out a notification later of the results of that trade. But let's have a look at the images for these trades. So starting off with Monday, I took a trade on Australian dollar, US dollar. I'm just going to zoom in here. And this is a screenshot of the 4-hourly chart for the pair. This is the basis that I use for my trade setup. As you can see, there's a strong uptrend here, making high highs and higher lows. And what I was interested on this was that we had a large green candle pushing up, bringing momentum into the market. And what I was looking at here, the time that I took this trade, was we had this big green momentum candle closing on the 4-hourly, which actually closed above the previous high. So for me, that is an indication that the momentum is going upwards, and I was looking for some sort of pullback to 50% of that 4-hourly candle. Moving down my time frame here to the 15-minute, which is a time frame I use to take my entry and manage the trade. And I actually got into this trade in the morning, and after reflection, I got in really quite early because it needed some more time to pull back. But just to share with you what actually happened on this trade. So I got into this on this first pattern here that you can see. I was looking at the fact that we were forming a higher low on the 50-minute time frame. So I got in around about 0.7780. To give you the very brief overview of this trade, it pulled back for quite a while and it came literally 1 pip away from my stop. But my stop held and I was still in the trade. It then started to turn around and pick back up, and at this point I was doing a really bad practice of looking at my trade every now and again to see how it was going. And later on in the day, it must have been about 5 o'clock in the evening actually, I decided to set my stop to break even once I was in the green because I didn't like being in drawdown, quite honestly, which was a really bad decision because as you can see on this big candle here on the 15 minutes, it literally came down to my break even stop. It stopped me out, but it held its uptrend and it carried on, and if I had just left it and not adjusted my stop, my target would have been hit in the Asian session about 2 o'clock in the morning GMT. So this is a little bit frustrating because as you can see, it could have been a winner, it was a winner, and the only thing that got in the way of this trade was myself, because I adjusted the plan and I brought my stop up to break even when I didn't need to. And that's what I've learned from this one, because This set me up for the week with a break-even trade, but if I'd have left it, I would have had a 1.5R winner, so I would have been up roughly around about 0.3% on my account. Moving on to the next trade. This is a trade I took on Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. It was my losing trade on Tuesday, didn't work out. And I mean, I did follow the strategy, it just didn't work out. It's not the best trade because I was trading an exhaustive move, so I was looking to trade the pullback on the sort of 4-hourly time frame. But as you can see here, we've been in this uptrend. We had this large breakdown below the previous higher low with a large momentum candle on the 4-hourly chart. So once again, I kind of marked a 50% retracement level to look for a pullback entry to get into the short. Looking to the 15-minute time frame here, which is what I used to take my entry. We had this pullback up to the grey area here, which is the resistance level on the 4-hourly chart, and I thought that we were making a double top pattern, so I got into the short, but unfortunately I was just activated in with a sell stop, but then it turned against me, went up to my stop. It happens, you win some and you lose some. I also took another trade on Tuesday on pound yen, and this was also a short trade. A similar setup, we were in an uptrend on the 4-hourly chart and we started to pull back a little bit. We had this large upper wick and I was looking for a possible exhaustion of this uptrend and looking to scalp the exhaustion on the move down. So I got into this roughly just after 9 o'clock in the morning on the 50-minute time frame, and again I was looking at this double top pattern. So we were breaking down on the 50-minute, we had a lower low here, lower high, a lower low, and this lower high here. As it closed, I then got into this trade, and for the most part it started off working really quite well. And as you can see here, it came down very close to my profit target. At that point I was actually 1.3R in profit, and then it just turned against me, went back up to my entry and consolidated. Now on this trade I did actually edit my plan, because once it was consolidating and failing to break lower, I then brought my stop to break even, and on this occasion that was the right decision to make because it stopped me out before it then actually went up to my stop. So I managed to save myself a losing trade here, and the only reason I did that was because it was so close to my target, but it retraced all the way back to my entry and it was slowing down in momentum to push lower, so I just had those exit indicators that I acted on. So altogether, Tuesday was a red day, but at least I managed to save one of my potential losing trades. This is the winning trade that I took on Wednesday for Euro USD, and we were moving up on the 4-hourly time frame. We were failing to make a new high, and then we had this large momentum coming down past the higher low of this move. Now with this, again, I was looking for some sort of pullback on the 15-minute time frame to then get in short. And this is the trade that I took on Euro USD. You can see we got a really nice pullback here up to this 4-hourly level, and I got short just below this because we had a few wick rejections and I felt like this was making a lower high. So I got short, and it for the most part was a beautiful trade. It fell down straight away, so I wasn't in any drawdown, consolidated for a bit before carrying on. Now the annoying thing with this trade is, again, I played around with this trade. So I took off half of my position at 1R profit, and then I decided to keep a really tight trailing stop. Why am I making these decisions? I guess the pressure of trading a footed account is getting to me, and I felt like I needed to be doing some really active risk management practices. But I can look back on the images of these trades at the end of the week and I can see the flaws in that idea, because in effect I trailed my stop and I took off my position off, so that altogether I only made 1.12R on this trade when my target was 1.5R. So I cut my winner a bit short, and in fact, as you can see, it blasted past my original profit target and it carried on going down. So this is not a very well managed trade at all. And before I just share with you one of the major lessons I've had this week, I'll just share the final trade that I took this week, and that was on pound yen, and this was a losing trade on Wednesday. So once again, on the 4-hourly chart, we had an uptrend. I saw this closing green candle here on the 4-hourly, and I felt like it was finding some sort of support, some sort of higher low as part of this uptrend. So I was looking to get in to try to follow the trend and carry on going upwards. Fortunately, it was just quite a messy trade. We didn't really get out of this consolidation, and in the end it dropped down to my stop, so this was a losing trade. So as it stands at this point in time this week, I'm down 1R on my account, which is equivalent to being down 0.25%. But after reflecting and looking at the trades that I took this week, based on the technicals alone, if I had just left my trading plan, it could have been totally different. Remember the first trade I showed you for Australian dollar, US dollar, where I went break even? If I had just left that trade, it actually would have hit my 1.5R target. So that could have been different if I didn't let my mind get in the way of the market. I took a loser on Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. I went break even on pound yen. Fair enough, if I'd have left that, that would have actually been a losing trade. So for argument's sake, let's just put -1R. And then the trade that I took on Euro USD, again, I messed around and edited my plan. And if I'd have just set that and forget that, I would have had another 1.5R winner. And then finally, I had the last losing trade on pound yen. So altogether, if I had just walked away from my screens this week from the trades that I took, I would have literally ended break even this week, which I could take. I'd be quite happy with that, to be fair, at the moment, because it's a funded trading account and anything that's not red to me is good. So reflecting on my trades this week, I can see that if I had just set it and forget it, I would have finished break even. Whereas instead, from constantly watching price action, I've not only wasted my time and my effort, but I've also made more of a loser from that this week. So this is just quite interesting for me to see, because moving forwards, I really need to work on mindset. I feel like my strategy and the technicals as part of trading is okay, but for me, the thing that's in the way at the minute is myself, my mindset. So this is my lesson this week, is to focus next week on just setting my trades and walking away and letting them play out. Do you guys have a similar problem when you are trading? Do you struggle with switching off and letting them work out? It'd be great to know how you get on. Let me know in the comments below. But that's it for today's recap. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, be sure to drop me a like and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the account. And I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks guys. Bye.